Fox News, 17th of April 2023, significant national security matter, 2 New Yorkers allegedly operated a remote Chinese spy police station. The arrests of 2 New Yorkers who allegedly managed a secret Chinese government police station in Manhattan's Chinatown were made public Monday by the FBI and U.S. prosecutors. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York, Jianwang and Chen Jinping have been accused of conspiring to operate as agents of the Chinese government. The Ministry of Public Security, MPS, of China, according to Breon Peace, U.S. attorney for that office, has repeatedly and flagrantly violated our nation's sovereignty, including by opening and operating a police station in the middle of New York City. This unassuming office complex in Lower Manhattan's bustling Chinatown is barely 2 miles from our office and just across the Brooklyn Bridge. It has a sinister secret. Peace claimed that the Chinese National Police had an unofficial police station on an entire floor of this building up until a few months ago. Now, picture the NYPD establishing a clandestine police station in Beijing. It would not be conceivable. What we are aware of taking place inside the Lower Manhattan Underground Police Station is as follows. At the very least, the station offered some official services, Peace continued, such as assisting Chinese citizens in renewing their Chinese driver's licenses. But even then, the statute stipulates that anyone acting in New York City on behalf of a foreign government, such as the defendants, must notify the Attorney General in advance. That didn't take place. The secret police station's apparent usage for a more evil purpose on at least one occasion, Peace continued, is more alarming. One of the defendants, a U.S. citizen who worked at the secret police station, received instructions from a CNP official to assist in locating a pro-democracy activist of Chinese heritage residing in California. In other words, it appears that the Chinese National Police were using the station to find a citizen of the United States on American land. When they became aware of the FBI's investigation, the 2 defendants whose arrests we're announcing today destroyed evidence of their conversations with the Chinese National Police, Peace said. These 2 defendants knew they had something to hide, and they interfered with the administration of justice to keep the FBI from learning the full scope of what they were up to, the prosecutor wrote. According to Peace, the FBI's New York field office and Peace's office are the first law enforcement partners in the world to make arrests in connection with the Chinese government's overseas police stations. He said both suspects were detained early on Monday at their residences in New York City. American citizens are both. They made their initial court appearance on the allegations on Monday. According to Michael Driscoll, the deputy director in charge of the FBI's New York field office, not only was the police station set up on the order of MSS officials, but members of the Chinese consulate in New York even paid a visit to it after it opened. According to Peace, Jianwang had a long-standing relationship of trust with Chinese law enforcement, including the MSS, before helping to open the police station in early 2022. MPS officials harassed a victim's family in China, and that victim got threats of harm against his family in the United States. In 2018, Liu was involved in efforts to persuade a supposedly fugitive Chinese person to return to China, Peace said. The person who was the target of such an attempt claimed that he was continually pressed to return to China. The Justice Department referred to the disclosure as a significant national security matter. A magistrate judge will hear the defendants' case in court on Monday afternoon. The defendants will be held accountable due to our investigation and today's arrest with the FBI, Peace said. And we want the MSS to know that we won't stand for similar assaults on our national sovereignty. In addition, Peace on Monday announced charges against 34 MSS police officers who were members of a task team known as the 912 Special Project Working Group. They are charged with conspiring to spread interstate threats and interstate harassment. A typical police force is not what this task force is. It doesn't defend individuals or stop crimes. He claimed that it targets Chinese democracy campaigners and dissidents living abroad, even right here in New York City, by committing crimes. In a coordinated scheme to annoy, contact, and threaten dissidents and activists worldwide, this task force acts as an internet troll farm by fabricating thousands of false online personas, Peace continued. People whom the PRC perceives as threats to the legitimacy of the Chinese Communist Party. On one occasion, according to Peace, task force officers flooded the video conference and drowned out the meeting with loud music, vulgar screams, and threats directed at Chinese dissidents. This occurred during an online video conference on the topic of countering communism that was held on a U.S. technology platform. He continued, saying that in addition to harassing and threatening Chinese dissidents, MSS agents spread official Chinese government narratives and propaganda online to undermine and drown out the dissidents' pro-democracy speech. He said that due to their exposure, the world now has a unique, never-before-seen view of how the PRC government deployed this army of internet trolls. Additionally, the Justice Department stated that under this plan, on several occasions, the defendants used online personas to contact individuals assessed to be sympathetic and supportive of the PRC government's narratives and asked these individuals to disseminate group content. An additional 10 people, including a former employee of a U.S. telecommunications business who worked in China, were accused in a third federal criminal complaint unsealed on Monday of conspiring to commit interstate harassment and conspiring illegally to transfer identification documents. First Assistant U.S. Attorney Carolyn Pokorny for the Eastern District of New York alleges that Julian Jin and his accomplices in the Ministry of Public Security and Cyberspace Administration of China weaponized the U.S. telecommunications company he worked for to intimidate and silence dissenters and enforce PRC law to the detriment of Chinese activists in New York, among other places, who had sought refuge in this country to express their pro-democracy views peacefully. The allegations in the complaint, which add to those made by the Justice Department in December 2020, reveal that Jin worked directly with and took orders from defendants at the MPS and the Cyberspace Administration of China to disrupt meetings on the Company One platform and that the co-defendants had targeted US-based dissidents' speech on Company One's platform since 2018.